Hey there, you two. Fancy running into you here. Either I got lucky, or I have a knack for honing in on the most outrageous material. If I had to quantify it, I'd say about 1% of what they write is the truth.
Huh? Him? Lenient? Ugh, you gotta be kidding! Ah!
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to these so-called news stories for occasionally including a grain of truth. All I'm saying is, even the boldest leaps of the human imagination are always rooted in reality. Sure they do. For instance, there was in fact a smuggling trial recently. But in reality, the goods in question were simply a few ancient relics dug up from ruins in that land. Rest assured, no Saurians were harmed in the process. It was a pretty open and shut case, and my testimony in court was clear enough.
Kaniche the speechless! Kaniche the tongue-tied!
If you're dead set on doing an interview, why not talk to the Traveler instead? Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was a how. Could be. Too bad he can't come out to argue back. There's nothing physically wrong with him. It actually has to do with a strange law we learned about after arriving in Fontaine. Apparently, it's forbidden to release flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. Not gonna lie, I was considering that. But a How wasn't too thrilled with the idea of huffing and puffing away in the form of a mini helium balloon. That said, it's pretty annoying how he keeps randomly popping up all of a sudden. Anyway, this morning I saw a notice outside the Palais Mermonia about an event that's set to take place outside the city soon. Something to do with filmmaking. I hear that's all the rage here. I was planning to stay here and do some exploring for a few extra days anyway, so I think I'll go check it out. It'll be a good chance to let that noisy helium balloon out. He might even learn a thing or two. If you're free, why don't you come along? I know where it is, so let me lead the way. Looks like I remembered correctly. Here we are. Yeah, it was still completely deserted only a few days ago when I passed by on my way to testify at the Opera House. There must be some efficient workers in Fontaine. Quite impressive.
A few days? One night was all it took. Rap-a-tap-tap, ta-da!
Ha! Look at you, puny little humans. Recklessly betting your entire future against some stupid vanity project. If you're expecting even an ounce of sympathy from the almighty Dragon Lord, dream on! Mockery is all you shall get, straight from the heart!
Sorry, just ignore that little gizmoid. He likes to butt in occasionally. Do go on.
Gizmoid? Who you calling Gizmoid? You're the Gizmoid! Mass production? Insolent, vulgar, and disrespectful! I, the almighty Dragon Lord, am one of a kind! There has never been another like me, nor will there ever be! And another thing, smart is the understatement of the century! I shall have you know that I am Kahulahau, forebear of ancient wisdom! I lived for eons long before any of you were born!
Well, I'm sold. I think I'll make a How go be her assistant.
You little... What's your game here?
Oh? What did the authorities make of it?
And, as it turned out, there was a gun.
Mind if I ask what kind of gun it was? You could say it comes with the job. I have an interest in weaponry and the like.
Such a spoiled brat! What, are the toys I gave you not good enough for you anymore?
Yep, got sick of those long ago.
You little... How dare you turn your nose up at my gifts! Why
Time for a timeout, old-timer. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, do you recall what the gun looked like? I'm sure you noticed that there was something unusual about that gun. Correct. It's most likely an old weapon dug up from some ancient dragon ruins. Based on my experience, it might be more accurate to refer to it as a hand cannon, but in Fontaine terms, it's not wrong to call it a gun. Given why I came here, don't you think it's curious that an ancient dragon relic of unknown origin would turn up like this, out of the blue? I suspect this gun might have something to do with that smuggling case. It might have slipped through the cracks. Time is of the essence, so I'd like to head over to the Palais Mermonia to verify my suspicions. Perfect. Then we can head out right away.
Oh, man.
Bro!
Are you mimicking me? Now's not the time. Come on.
No, I mean, one of our buddies is here, for real. Quite a few of them, actually.
Huh? How come you're... Ah, I'm guessing Kanich is here because of that international smuggling case, right? I've heard quite a bit about that.
Word sure gets around quickly, huh?
First time abroad and you're already making headlines.
Oh, stop it. It's not like I was the center of attention.
Wasn't expecting to see the Traveler and Paimon here too, though.
Come on, Aoife.
Huh?
A traveler, by definition, is someone who travels around.
Fair point. Anyway, back on topic. Wait a second. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about again?
Vegetables.
Huh?
I'll go first. It's for the chevalmarin film Fantasyland. Wait, is that right? Right. I keep stumbling over that one. Anyway, long story short, the festival restaurant urgently needed fresh vegetables from Natlan, which is why Aoife and I are here.
He is. I'm just here as a responsible adult. It's his first time traveling so far away from home, and all the elders in his tribe were worried. So they had me come along.
Even though it's your first time too.
Right, but they still picked me to accompany you. You gotta wonder why that might be.
Don't you get it? They all just saw how overworked you were, so they used it as an excuse to send you off on a vacation.
Wait, what? So I'm getting the grandson treatment now too? See? Doesn't matter how much older you are than this dude. Hang out with him long enough, and you'll eventually find yourself being treated like a kid.
Meaning everyone looks after you. What's so bad about that?
In theory, nothing at all. In that case, guess I better start over. Hi guys, my name's Aoife, and I just turned 5. That's exactly what's got me worried.
Aoife, there's nothing to worry about. You're a big boy. You can handle yourself now even without cacucu.
You think that's what I'm worried about? Anyway, my priority right now is cacucu. Suffice it to say, cacucu's in big doo-doo.
Let me guess. Did he get caught out by the law on flying objects?
Bro, you too?
Not me. A how?
Oh, that pesky little chatterbox. So that's why he hasn't interrupted us this whole time. Guess he's too scared to show his face.
That, plus he's already spouted enough nonsense for one day. So I've put him on mute until tomorrow.
Nice one. If I was even half as decisive as you are, I would have kept a closer hold on Cacucu so he didn't get a chance to go flying off.
If they had managed that, we'd at least be able to track him down. But when the guards started chasing him, Cacucu flew into that building next door. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a high-stakes pursuit going down in there as we speak. Just like one of those cool crime movies. Yup, that's the one. Cacucu sure has a good eye for a getaway. It's the tallest building around. I may be able to fly up pretty high, but checking every last window would still take quite a while. As for Aoife, well, let's just say he's not flying anywhere without a Saurian. Sorry about that.
Not like it's my fault, though. You don't have to apologize on my behalf.
Heck yeah! If anyone can pull it off, it's Cacucu. He's always been such an awesome Saurus. I believe in him.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
Of course I'm for real. I'd never make light of something like that.
Leave it to us.
You sure? Wow, awesome. That'll be a huge help.
And if Cacucu doesn't listen to you, I give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
Wait, since when was that up to you?
Well, then it's your call, bro.
All right then, if Cacucu doesn't listen to you, I also give you permission to pull out a couple of his feathers.
There you go. If he objects to that, tell him to come find us.
He won't. Trust me.
Back when we first met Cacucu in the wild and I begged you to take him under your wing, I never imagined you'd end up spoiling him rotten.
And I never imagined you'd be nagging me about it.
Oh, well, I definitely saw that coming.
Huh?
You're only 5 years old after all.
No way, bro!
Did he say he came from Natlan?
No,
Get out of here!
I can understand his words, just not what they mean.
Bro!
He keeps repeating the same things over and over again.
Oh, you know one another.
Great, well, that was easy. Looks like we've tracked down the owner. Guess that's one less lost and found notice for you to write, Monsieur Neuvillette.
For real?
Traveler, was there something important you wanted to discuss with the Udex? I'm just about done with my business here. Need me to step out?
Stay and hear them out first. Perhaps it will have some bearing on your own work. If I'm not mistaken, you are the same Mr. Kanich who served as a witness in the smuggling trial? I take it there's been a further development in the case.
That's right. Very perceptive, Mr. Udex. I've seen his photo in the papers. But as for this other gentleman...
Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Wriothesley, administrator of the Fortress of Meripede. Or in layman's terms, Fontaine's prison warden. Please, feel free to share anything about the case. There's no need to keep anything from him.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you!
Wow, that sounded just like me. But should we really discuss official business in front of the Saurian?
Oh, wow! Oh, no!
I believe he said... Or rather, I suppose he meant that he'll keep this to himself. Though I should mention, Mr. Cacucu, that we will have to ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Sure thing, bro!
Let us return to the matter at hand. Mr. Kanich, was there something else you wanted to discuss relating to the case?
Yes. Let me fill you in.
So if it's true that this weapon came into Fontaine alongside the contraband from the smuggling case, then there's a high chance we overlooked a suspect.
That's exactly my line of thought.
I see. Mr. Kanich, thank you for reporting this promptly. I'll arrange for the Marechaussee Phantom to investigate right away. We should begin by questioning the prisoners in custody. Wriothesley.
I'll sign off on the interrogation request, don't you worry.
That would be much appreciated.
It's lucky that the Palais Mermonia wasn't scheduled to release any public bulletins today, and that this gun's lost and found notice hasn't been written up yet. In other words, the news hasn't leaked.
I'll be staying in Fontaine for the time being. If there's any progress in the investigation or you need my help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Marvelous. Thank you all. Well then, all that's left is to...
You miss me, bro?
He really does come out with the most unexpected things. Who did he learn it all from? Huh. Well, it's pretty extraordinary.
Anyway, according to due process, we must first determine whether Mr. Cacucu qualifies as a flying object. And, following on from our conversation just now, he also needs to sign a confidentiality agreement. Drafting said agreement may take some time.
Looks like you'll be staying with us for a while then, Cacucu. Excited?
That would save us a lot of trouble. Many thanks.
All right then, we'd better get going. No need to see us off.
I know you mentioned a while back that people from Natland would soon start showing up all over the world. But I hadn't expected anything like this.
It seems no matter where they come from, all dragons are inquisitive by nature.
You can say that again, bro.
The same might well be said for humankind. The real reason you chose to stay to investigate this case was your curiosity about Natlan and Mr. Cacucu, was it not?
Guilty as charged. Nothing gets past you. So, how about we take this opportunity to chat a little more? We've got the world's best translator on hand, after all.
Sure thing, bro.
What's the situation? How bad is it? Oh no. When I saw that Cacucu wasn't with you, I'd already prepared myself for the worst.
Relax, Aoife. Maybe Cacucu just prefers high-rise living now. Sometimes you just have to let the kids grow up and make their own choices in life.
For real now? Do you even hear yourself, bro?
Hasn't been arrested either, so no jail time.
See?
You're not exactly reassuring me here. All right. That doesn't sound too bad after all. Wow, hearing that's put my mind to rest.
But based on my understanding of how things work here, the ban on flying objects should be over by the time Cacucu actually gets out.
What a shame. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go have some fun without him.
Auroron and I will be staying in guest rooms upstairs at the Hotel de Boer for the time being. Feel free to drop by if you need us.
I've realized we're in a bit of a tricky situation here.
What do you mean?
If we go out, we won't have time to watch that film we rented.
But if we stay in and watch the film, we won't have time to go out.
Oh, you realized it too?
Yeah, well, pretty smart for a 5-year-old.
Sorry, I did everything within my power. But so far, I've only managed to teach him how to say good morning.
Get out of here!
Of course, that's why I'm here. Cacucu's not the only one that Mr. Risley's been getting to talk. I'm referring, of course, to the convicts.
It was nothing. These guys weren't exactly tough nuts to crack.
After racking their brains, they remembered speaking to an inconspicuous middle-aged man just as they were preparing to pack up and leave Natland. He was dressed in the manner of the Children of Echoes and carrying a box. Plus, the description matches the one the gun was found in. All in all, he didn't look any different from your average Natlanese traveler. Perhaps seeing that they were dressed as merchants, this man stopped for a chat, inquiring where their goods were headed, and even asking if they could share a boat. The smugglers were very cautious, though. They didn't tell him any specifics. But all this happened before I crossed paths with them. I happened to notice them as they were preparing to set sail. I thought they looked shady, so I snuck aboard. and ended up being carried along all the way to Fontaine. Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine to do business? Scarred face. Calloused hand. On closer inspection, the fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical merchant. Something feels off. I'd better sneak up and get a closer look. So anyway, that was when I went and told the Fontainian guards about my suspicions. After an investigation and a chase, they finally apprehended them and sent them on their way.
Based on your recollections just now,
I was completely focused on those smugglers at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to other passers-by.
in other words, the person who brought the gun here, the one who lost it, has no connection to the smugglers whatsoever. They were working entirely on their own.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Sounds like Mr. Cacucu wants to chime in?
He said this elusive individual's actions are positively mystifying.
It's a good observation, I quite agree. However, we still know next to nothing about the person. Perhaps we should start by focusing on the lost item itself.
Oh wow, no way, bro.
Hold on, let me explain. Just now, the traveler speculated that this box might have been placed there on purpose, as if the intention was for someone to come pick it up. That got me thinking about those films about kidnapping cases. When they demand their ransom, the kidnappers tell the victim's family to leave money or valuables at a designated spot for someone to come pick up.
That doesn't merely happen in films. There have been similar cases in real life. In fact, if anything, it's probably the real-life events that inspired the films.
Sounds plausible.
I agree. I don't believe we have a kidnapping on our hands. Selling off stolen goods is extra work that most kidnappers would want to avoid. Unless they're after something very specific, they tend to just ask for cash. Could we be dealing with a kidnapper who's dead set on getting their hands on an ancient dragon handgun? It's not impossible, but the likelihood is very slim. We can discount that possibility for now. And speaking of selling stolen goods, don't you think this looks more like a transaction?
So, bottom line, this was an individual smuggler at work.
Exactly. And it was the location itself that caused the deal to fall through. The last thing they would have expected was for a quiet beach to turn into a bustling film convention overnight. Not only is the area now packed with tourists, but the Spina di Rosula have a presence there. I'll bet that both parties were completely caught off guard.
That sounds like a plausible theory, but how do we verify it?
Looks like your people better start rolling up their sleeves.
How so?
Easy. Just follow the usual procedure by putting up a lost and found notice. The more routine we make it seem, the more likely the suspect will come forward to claim it. Even if they send a proxy, we're liable to get our hands on new leads. And timing-wise, it's about time we updated the bulletin board anyway. All we need now is a lucky gestionnaire to write up the notice for us post-haste.
Ah, so that's what you meant by rolling up their sleeves. In that case, I may as well write it myself. Delegating this to someone else would require an additional explanation.
Or are you just not used to asking others to work overtime?
Well, looks like I won't be needed around here. At least until the notice has been posted.
You could always wait here if you like. The Palais Mermonia serves a particularly fine cup of tea if that swings it for you.
Thanks, but no thanks. I left a very noisy creature with a friend before heading out, so I should probably get back to feed it.
Ah, I wasn't aware that you had a pet, Mr. Kanich. Speaking of pets...
Get out of here! Out of here!
Yep, that's the plan. Out of here indeed.
I believe that what Wriothesley is trying to say is, you are free to leave, Mr. Cacucu. Furthermore, it has been determined that Mr. Cacucu should not, in fact, be classified as a flying object. As such, he shall be free to move around Fontaine whenever he so pleases.
You're the best, bro.
I shall leave him in your capable hands. Indeed.
Ah. You know, all this has made me realize that I'd quite like to have a pet.
If that proves inconvenient within the fortress of Meripede, perhaps you should consider finding a place in the court of Fontaine.
That actually sounds like a good idea. In the past, I always dismissed the idea of buying a property in the city. The prophecy about the floods meant it never seemed like a worthwhile investment. But now...
This might be a good time for you to re-examine the documents I gave you regarding your title as Duke.
Huh?
Citizens with honorary titles are eligible for certain benefits when purchasing property in the court of Fontaine.
Really?
How about this? You read through your documents from start to finish, while I write up the lost and found notice.
How?
What? What now?
Let's shake hands.
Fine by me. Get ready for a knuckle sandwich!
Ugh! Oh, nice dodge.
You miss me, bro?
Cacucu, you're free!
Ugh, not you again. Nope, didn't miss you in the slightest.
Hey, other granny. And hey, Kanichi. It's good to see you all. Thanks for bringing Cacucu back.
Get it away! Get it away from me! Nice to meet you, bro. Who are you calling bro? Say that again to my face! I dare you.
If you've got the energy to argue this much, you're clearly not hungry yet. Let's go find something to eat while a How lives his best life.
Poor Hal. He spent all day being tormented by Auroron, only to discover that the suffering's just begun.
Eva, as a Saurian vet, how can you just sit back and watch our little dragon bro suffer?
Huh? How am I the bad guy?
Even hear yourself? Ah!
Don't lose hope, Ahau. By the same standard, you have freedom of movement now too. You're still in the game?
Same standard? I will not be held to the same standard as that thing!
That's right. You won't. As far as I understand, the Palais Mermonia will want to assess your case on its own merits before they grant you freedom of movement.
Where's that Saurian meat restaurant again? I'm gonna march that little pink balloon right into the kitchen!
Yeah, good luck with that, bro. You'll be putting your own neck on the line, too.
Anyway, thanks for looking after a How, guys. I'll take over from here.
Why you?
So now that our crew's back together again, what's our next move? Oh, how about a game of rock, paper, scissors?
No chance. If I lose, we'll end up stuck in the room watching films all over again.
Nope. This time, we'll only watch a film if I lose instead.
Had enough too, huh?
For real now? Come on, bro.
Can we just ditch this whole leaving it all to chance thing? Why don't we take our fate into our own hands?
Aren't we doing that already? Rock, paper, scissors uses our hands.
Don't know why you're laughing. You're stuck with paper every time.
Ah, hello, you two.
Special Patrol, open up!
I don't think that's who this is.
Good day, all. Gramps, grannies, aunts, and uncles.
Oh, he must be the one you mentioned. Cacucu's owner?
I'm here to claim a lost item.
Is this the person you saw on the boat, Mr. Kanichi?
Somehow I highly doubt that. For starters, he just addressed us as Gramps and Grannies. And unless this is the youngest looking middle-aged man in the world, I don't think he's our guy.
Huh. Was there something wrong with my door knocking etiquette? That's how they do it in all the films. Oh, I see. I figured it was just a polite way of requesting entry to show the people inside you had something important to discuss. Oh, sorry about that. I totally goofed that one up. Give me a moment. I'll go back out and try again.
So, Roron, you said you were here to claim a lost item. What did you lose?
Yeah, so basically... No, it belongs to a friend. Of course not. Aoife has his own gun. All right then. I knew this wouldn't go well. So here's what went down. This morning, Aoife and I were playing rock, paper, scissors. Before long, he'd lost, as he usually does. So we figured we'd head out and visit some of the Cour de Fontaine's famous landmarks. When we got near the plaza, a man suddenly stopped us to ask for help. He said that he had lost something and that someone had found it and sent it over to the Palais Mermonia. But apparently he used to work here and was worried it'd be awkward bumping into his old coworkers, so he asked us to pretend to be the owners and claim it on his behalf. It's fine. I'm not the one who feels awkward anyway.
So, a former employee of the Palais Mermonia. Was this individual a Fontaine native?
Yes, at least I assume so. He looked like a well-dressed gentleman to me. We were about to refuse, but he was so polite.
Could it have been a disguise?
No way, I'm not that dumb. He's not going anywhere. Aoife and Cacucu are keeping an eye on him over at the plaza.
Keeping an eye on him. I like the sound of that. Wait a minute, I have a question first. Traveler, you're pretty famous in Natland, right?
Would that be a problem?
Remember when I said that the seller might be watching in secret?
If so, then picking a Roron to do their dirty work was a careless mistake on their part.
It suggests that the person who got Auroron to claim the item might not be fully in the know themselves. There are plenty of unanswered questions, but standing around racking our brains won't help. However, I still suggest that the famous faces among us, meaning the Traveler and Kinich, oh, and of course, Monsieur Nivelette too, stay here for the time being. We'll empty the box, give it to Auroron, and then he can claim the item as if nothing happened. I'll follow to check if anyone is watching. I doubt anyone would recognize me anyway, so I shouldn't draw too much attention.
I think this plan is worth a try. I shall leave it to the pair of you.
So, I have to go undercover again, right?
Well, not exactly undercover. Just drop the special patrol persona and be yourself instead.
Roger that. Over and out.
Nothing suspicious going on here, either. Strange. Maybe we're overthinking this?
Oh dear! Oh dear!
Stop with the pecking! Stop with the pecking!
The heck are you on about?
Sorry, but he's not my pet. He's my coworker. And I should warn you, he's not too happy with how you're talking about him.
Uh-oh. Cacucu's not too big on being called a thing either. You're on your own now. All right, Cacucu, that'll do for now. Let me ask him some questions first.
Sure thing, bro.
Auroron actually looks pretty serious this time. Was he just pretending to be clueless earlier? Interesting. Think I'll sit back and see how this plays out.
You actually got it? Wow, didn't think it would be that easy. After all?
So I got it, but I don't remember promising I'd hand it over. This thing's pretty cool. I've taken a bit of a liking to it.
His life hangs in the balance?
If this means so much to you, what are you gonna offer me in return?
Are you trying to get him to say my life?
How'd you know that?
Because I watched that film with you. You should drop the act. We don't want a real misunderstanding in our hands.
But honestly, I don't know what else to say. Sorry, this is the most myself I can be. Is that enough?
Enough. More than enough.
Who's this dude?
Just think of me as a staff member from the Palais Mermonia. Now, if you don't mind, I have some questions for this gentleman about that life or death treasure you were just discussing. Truthful answers appreciated, of course. What's that supposed to mean? You don't think the Palais Mermonia has the ability to protect our citizens? I could do that. But I'd rather you just tell the whole story, from the beginning.
Feeling smug now, are we?
Feeling smug now, are we?
Go on. I need you to clear something up for me. You haven't paid the seller yet, correct? And yet he told you to collect the item from the Palais Mermonia. Was he not worried that you just split afterwards? Fair. That makes sense. So, All right, Mr. Argento. Listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. It will determine how much of the rest of your life you'll be spending beneath the waves.
What does he mean? Is he gonna drown him just like they do in those gangster films? Oh, I get it. He's talking about that place at the bottom of the Fontanian Sea.
Shh, can it?
A trip to the Opera Epiclese seems unavoidable at this stage, but on the bright side, you still have one chance to make things right. It's very simple. Just reach out to your seller in the same way as usual, arrange to meet, bring the money, and make the deal. Just be sure to let me know all the details. I'm talking time, place, the whole lot. If we can catch the other party by doing this, you'll have gone some way toward redeeming yourself. Understand? Good. Don't break the law, and don't even think about making a run for it. The Palais Mermonia will be watching you and ensuring your safety. All right, take the box, but leave your ID and other documents behind. You can go now. As for you two, protocol dictates that I should take you both back to the Palais and have you sign a confidentiality agreement. But that would take a lot of time and effort.
Such a hassle, bro!
See, Mr. Cacucu knows exactly where I'm coming from. So, I was thinking, since you're all friends of the Traveler...
I understand, sir. We got dragged into this by accident, and it has diddly squat to do with us. And out of respect for the Traveler, we won't say another word.
Oh, I know this part. We better keep our mouths shut or we'll both be sleeping with the fishes in the tailor-made pair of cement shoes. In that case, I understand completely.
Not exactly what I was going for, but if that's how you want to understand it, then be my guest. Then it's settled. Thanks for your help. Boy, am I glad that's over. That's enough work for one day. Time to head back. It went smoothly, on the whole.
So basically, we hold off until Argento and the other party have set up the next stage of the transaction. Then we plan our next move.
Patience will be key.
I get that. It's like hunting. I'm just not sure the other party will take the bait so easily.
Well, if he didn't need the money, or if he valued self-preservation over making a profit, he could have walked away as soon as the contraband was brought to the Palais Mermonia. On top of that, although he hasn't shown his face yet, he seems to have no followers or accomplices, and he's relying on an extremely limited set of options to push the deal along. So, if you ask me, he seems like someone who cares a lot about his image and has a somewhat high opinion of himself, but lacks any real ability. I almost get the feeling that if he misses out on this opportunity, he won't have any other way of making money. His every move is like a spin of the roulette wheel, hoping that the ball will land exactly where he wants it to. Or, I don't know. Maybe he'll cut his losses and vanish into thin air, and our efforts will have been in vain. At least Natlan will get the stolen relic back, so it won't have been for nothing.
In that case, let's hope his arrogance stays in play.
Everyone, I have just briefed the Marechaussee Phantom on the situation. As soon as there are any further developments, we will act without delay. When that time comes, we will be relying on your help.
Come on, just spit it out. I can tell you're itching to say something.
Can eat, you big dummy! You fell for it, huh? No, what's wrong? Feeling lonely without the almighty Dragon Lord to talk to? If a bedtime story's what you're after, just say so! I'll tell you one so bone-chilling, you won't be able to sleep for 3 nights straight!
Sure, go ahead.
Huh? What do you mean, go ahead? Ugh, you pretending to be a tough guy now?
Maybe, maybe not. But one thing's for sure. If I don't sleep, neither do you.
No, you're just in time. Well rested, I trust?
A great way to stay energetic, certainly.
We received word from Mr. Argenteau yesterday, confirming the time and location of the transaction. It'll take place this afternoon, and it turns out it'll be somewhere we all know pretty well, too.
Seems like you share our concerns, Traveler.
Indeed. Capturing someone in a crowded event venue will be much more challenging than in an open area. The criminal might try to blend in with the crowd, or even escape by taking hostages. In light of this, we've had to make additional preparations. As soon as we received the news yesterday, we began coordinating with the Marechaussee Phantom and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
We'll be deploying lots of undercover agents on site. If things go south, the safety of the civilians will be our top priority. Of course, fingers crossed, everything will go without a hitch. To be honest, we shouldn't have dragged you into this in the first place, and it's caused you quite enough trouble already. The Fontanian authorities should be able to handle the rest from here. But still, I'm guessing you'd like to see how it all turns out. Well then, feel free to head down to the scene, but just stay alert and play it by ear. You won't necessarily have to do anything, unless things go pear-shaped, of course.
I'll do my best to ensure that things don't escalate to that point. Of course. There are still a lot of unanswered questions, but our intel so far indicates that the culprit's from Natlan. Plus, I'm already a witness in this case. Might as well see this thing through to the end.
Well, that's enough of the small talk. The operation's scheduled for the afternoon. If we're quick enough, we'll even have time for a few cups of tea before we leave.
Ahal's been harping on for days now about this event-exclusive meal he wants to try. Guess I might as well shut him up sooner rather than later. See you in a bit.
I look forward to hearing how it all goes.
Your friend thought you might be thirsty. Won't you stay and drink it?
I tend to steer clear of drinks left out in the open.
You're surrounded. Give up and come with. Stop right there!
Oh, look! A surprise performance! Wow! How lucky we are!
After him!
Be careful!
Lowly worm! No one flies higher than the almighty Dragon Lord! Who's stealing my fun? You again! You're driving me crazy! Oh, wow,
All right, that's a wrap.
Will you now? I think I did you a favor by pulling you away from your audience. Saved you some face at the very least. As for whether you were facing up or down along the way, well, that was your decision, wasn't it?
Something wrong, Kanich? Gone soft, have we?
I don't believe a word you say. Wriothesley had you just about figured out. You're a gambler. Pure and simple. First of all, are you really from Natlan? You've been keeping tabs on the gun's whereabouts this whole time. You should have recognized at least one familiar face by now. On top of that, the way you threatened to sue me? Spoken like a true Fontanian, if you ask me. I don't want to hear another word. Ahow, here's your chance. Shut someone else up for once.
The moment I've been waiting for. Eat this, scumbag!
Being a compulsive liar is one of the hallmarks of a die-hard gambler. I bet you're just a Fontanian pretending to be from Natlan. Even if you have any friends or family to speak of, I'm guessing they've long since cut all ties with you. And you have your depraved ways to thank for that. Of course, I might be wrong. But does that matter? I'm just here to arrest you. If you're looking for an advocate or a shoulder to cry on, you're out of luck. Besides, prying the truth out of you is exactly what your beloved courts are for. Isn't that right? Many thanks.
And me? What about me? So rude. You should be bowing down in gratitude to the almighty Dragon Lord. Hey, what do you mean? Hold it right there!
Don't worry. I'm fine. I wasn't the one who just got dragged all the way here.
Little Kanich, thinking back to when you were just an itty-bitty boy, Kanich, aren't ya? Aw, don't start crying like a little baby. I am the almighty Dragon Lord! No servant of mine will be seen acting so weak and pathetic in public!
What are you on about? Still, I suppose there's no point hiding it from you. To put it plainly, I can't stand gamblers. They're the most irresponsible people in the entire world. No respect for the principle that you have to give in order to get. They'll tell 1,000 lies for a single coin, deluding themselves into thinking they can use it to gamble their way to a vast fortune. But we all know that even when it looks like you're getting something for free, there's always an unseen cost. In the past, I also ended up paying a price for my father's gambling losses. I don't want anyone else to end up in a similar situation if I can help it. Don't feel sorry for me. I certainly don't feel sorry for myself. They say that people are shaped by their past, and since I've made it this far, I must have done a lot of things right. We should never punish ourselves for the mistakes of others. Instead, I choose to remember the moments that helped me grow. Like when I first learned to use a grappling hook, or the very first time I yearned for knowledge. Yeah, I believe you. Let's get going. If we don't head back soon, we'll cause more unnecessary worry.
What? Rumors and slander! When have I, the almighty Dragon Lord, Kahulahau, ever sunk to such sniveling?
Often, actually. To be honest, I haven't decided yet. At the moment, I've got nothing urgent to get back for. And in any case, the court might need me to testify again. Plus, that gun's still a key piece of evidence. I'll probably have to wait until the case is closed before I can return it to Natlan. So, I guess I'll be sticking around to enjoy the beach a little longer.
In a good mood, I see.
Yep. Seeing my dear vegetables all settled in right where they belong brings me great joy.
You sound like a proud parent. I'm happy for you, bro. But given how where they belong is inside a cooking pot, that kind of fills me with dread at the same time.
Nice to meet you, bro.
The heck are you on about? Does this really seem like a good time for nice to meet you?
I guess he's referring to the meeting of the vegetables in the pot.
You got it, bro.
Honestly, right now, I'm not sure if I should be worrying about your definition of nice to meet you or investigating whether you and Cacucu share some kind of telepathic bond.
Earlier on, that lady with the pink hair took a picture of a How and Cacucu together.
You sound a little disappointed. Were you hoping to be in it too?
I was at first, but after seeing how awkward a How looked, I figured I wouldn't really fit in.
Huh? And you didn't think of sharing this any sooner? I'd have cuddled your neck and smiled for the camera! Anything to get out of being in the same frame as that thing!
Really? Well, no worries, you still can. Come here, give us a hug.
I hope your face is ready, because it's about to get flame roasted! I got your back, bro!
Kanich, have you thought about maybe ditching that little rascal? Leaving him here for good when you leave?
I have. But given that a How's also an old relic, that would probably count as international smuggling. I can't bring myself to knowingly break the law.
Guess we all have our problems in life.
Your efforts are much appreciated.
Sounds like I'm no longer needed here. Guess I'll be on my way.
One moment. As a key witness, you may be called upon to attend the follow-up trial, Mr. Wriothesley.
Oh no. For real, bro? But sorry. I meant, could I maybe attend anonymously?
I'm delighted to hear that you've been enjoying yourself, but I need to concentrate on this film for now. those animal assistants will have to wait. I just need a little more sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I keep thinking of new tricks. So tired. Can't sleep, but can't get up either. Wait, Traveler? You two are here as well? In that case, count me in. Not just for my own sake, of course, but to support my friends. Just give me a moment to freshen up.
Miss Navia, president of Fontaine Spina di Rosula.
Hello, everyone. Partner, Paimon, how have you been lately? What about me? What about me? My useless servant can't even give me a proper introduction.
You think someone yelling their name out in the middle of a public street really needs an introduction?
He's not wrong. I caught yours just now, in fact. So, you must be the almighty Dragon Lord, Mr. Ahau. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, see that? That's what I call proper manners. Well, it's not every day you meet a well-mannered human. Excellent. You may address the almighty Dragon Lord by his name. It's no big deal. All little animals do that, don't they? I mean, try to puff themselves up to look more impressive.